It's like, what were you doing with my drapes? The drapes that were hanging in the apartment. I never got the answer to that. This is Kari from Sky Properties, and today we're going to talk about some mechanical issues with different things that are at an apartment building. The first one I will tackle is gates, entry gates or garage gates or car gate. Is this a emergency? Is it not an emergency? I think that would depend on the activity around your building, whether it's an emergency or not. Some buildings, we have one in Burbank where it's not a rush, and there are other buildings that are in downtown LA where it is definitely a rush to get the gate fixed. You have to use a judgment call there. Of course, anytime something at your building's broken, you want to take a proactive stance. And the main reason a tenant will move from your building is for a maintenance reason. So you don't want there to always be broken gates or broken elevators or broken anything really. You want to address them quickly and as inexpensively as possible. So your first step, make sure that your on-site manager knows how to open and close them if there is a power outage or something like that. You also want to make sure that the tenants moving into a building understand that the gate needs to close completely behind them and lock, and to not let anyone in behind them. The next item that you might want to have fixed immediately and maybe considered an emergency, elevators are pretty important. They are usually inspected once a month and serviced every 3 months. You should have a good company, a reliable company, and you should also calendar it to make sure it's done. You want to make sure that the phone line's working inside that elevator and that when you pick up the phone that someone answers it. I think it becomes especially important if you have older people or handicapped people that live in your building where you have several floors. You don't want to leave the elevator broken because it traps them in or out of their apartment. Pool equipment should be maintained. You also want to have a professional pool company regulating your chlorine and acid in your pool. This is required here in Los Angeles. And it's super important because when people are in and out of the pool and the chemicals go off, someone could get hurt or they could get sick if the water is not kept at the right level of chlorines. You definitely want to keep an eye on that as well and make sure your pool equipment's working consistently and regularly. Just to wrap it up, I think when you have mechanical things at your building, make sure you have someone on call that you can reach out to if something does go wrong.